Welcome to this interview.
Me?
Um, yeah, so I'm going to be asking you a number of questions, a whole number of questions. But first of all, um, we'd like to meet you. Tell us about yourself. Who is Dewonu?
Okay. So my full name is Dewonu Adebimpe. I'm 15 years old. I'm a current student of Cross Garden High. I'm in year 12 and I'm the student president and head girl.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. That's great. Yeah. Okay, so tell me, Dewonu, why do you love Pearls Garden High? Why do you love Pearls Garden High?
Mostly the first thing I fell in love with when I came to this school was like the environment. The minute you walk in and meet everyone, you're already so comfortable and at home, and there's no pressure on you to like fit in or anything. Just be yourself and have so much fun, yet still learn so much.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's great. That's good. That's good to know. Okay. So did you start your secondary education at Pearls Garden High?
No, actually, I joined Cross Garden High in year 10. That was September 2018.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know. So, what were the things? What were the differences you observed? Like, what were the differences for you when you resumed at Pearls Garden High compared to your former school?
Okay. Compared to my former school, when I came to Pearls Garden High, I realized that unlike in my previous school where it was like, oh, your teachers are just there to like teach you and discipline you, and that was it. Here, I could really have a good relationship with my teachers where I could be free with them, where they were always there for me at any time. They were like my parents when I was away from my parents. Also, at Cross Garden High, I was being taught to actually know things, not just to like pass examinations and get A's.
Amazing, amazing. That you were being taught to know things, not just to pass exams and get the A's.
Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Yeah, yeah. That's amazing. Okay. So how do you feel when you learned about the unusual and interwoven course outline at Pearls Garden High? You know, with science students taking art, sewing, music, catering, and dance for core science students like you are, and core art students, you know, engaging in art-related extracurricular plus coding, graphics, and animation. How did you feel when you were exposed to that arrangement? Did it look strange? How did you feel when you came across that?
I was actually really excited when I got to hear that just because I was an art student didn't mean that I was going to be restricted to just my subject in that department. So I could still have so many more experiences and learn about new things I'll never have known that I would have loved or like had talents in before. So it was pretty cool and I was actually very excited.
Awesome. That's good to know. Okay, so were your parents receptive to the idea at the moment, at the onset rather?
Yes, they were actually. They've always been very supportive of my extracurriculars and hobbies and everything.
Amazing. That's good to know. Okay. Quick one. So, uh, when you got into the extracurricular activities and how was the experience like? Was it smooth? Was it difficult at first? Can you tell us about that?
Sir?
I mean, the extracurricular activities. So when you got into them from the inception, was it smooth or was it difficult? How was the experience like?
No, it was actually pretty smooth. It wasn't like any pressure to like try to do this or get this one or everything. See, here the teachers are always like very patient and there's always so much fun when you're doing literally anything. So for example, when I first started sewing, obviously I didn't know anything else about sewing except for how to sew an apron with my hands, and it wasn't right. But the very first day, I was already learning so much and having so much fun. Now I'm like obsessed with sewing.
Wow, that's amazing. I like it when you say like everything here is fun. There's nothing. You don't have any dull moments. Whatever it is you're doing, whether you're in the classroom, everywhere it's all fun, and that's amazing. Okay. So I learned that despite being a core art student, you're one of the team leads to an international app building and coding competition. Yeah. So tell me a bit about this and your experience there.
Okay, so the competition was Technovation Girls. It was a competition, a coding competition for just girls, actually. So I remember we did an emergency app. You had to create an app that could like help your country or community or anything. So we created an emergency app. I know in Nigeria, a lot of us don't really know like the emergency numbers. When there's an accident, people are just gathering, they don't know the right things to do, and then so many unfortunate events occur. So we actually built an app that we hope that a lot of people will like be able to get on their phones, and then when there's an emergency, you could just like tap the button, and the nearest ambulance or like emergency center is going to respond to you. So instead of all the people who could have survived dying, we actually created an app that could help with that. So it taught us the value of being able to do something to help your community. And also it taught us that as girls, it doesn't mean like we're inferior or minority. You can do anything you set your mind to. It was also a good experience for like exposure, because we got to visit the emergency center, and we met like the head and everything, and he was going to introduce us to the commissioner, and also it was a really, really fun experience.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's great. That's great. So right now, is the app active? Like, is it working now?
No, it's not active on the Play Store though, no.
Okay, but it's available.
Yes.
Oh, awesome, awesome. So that's very great. I really love this one. I love this one. The fact that you can say that as a student, you've been able to come up with a product that can really add value to the community. That's amazing. Yeah, kudos to you and your team. That's very great. That's very good. And but especially in the context of safety, like you were talking about, this happens, and people are like, "Oh, what do we do? What's the next thing?" And that really provides, a quick way to quickly get something done, like reach the right line, and on the app, and that's really amazing. Is it an offline or online app?
No, it's offline.
It's offline. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
That's great. That's great. That's awesome. Okay. So I also learned that the runway show you had through the sewing class has brought entrepreneur life in you, and you already have your company name. I'm interested in that. Okay, with the logo and also a design and all. So please tell us about that.
Okay, so after I started sewing and we did this whole runway show and everything, I decided that I wanted to take it a bit further. So I actually started drawing up designs of my own, and I came up with a name for my brand, which is Crossway Strips. And I actually got a logo, a vision statement, mission statement, and everything. I just like started up the company.
Awesome. That's great. What was the runway show all about? What was the runway show? Tell me about the runway show.
Okay, so the runway show. So we had just started sewing then. So we wanted to display like some of the things we were able to do. So each of us actually came up with names for our companies and the positions we were. I was the CEO of my company. Then we drew up designs, we made them, got models, and they actually modeled our designs for us in front of the parents.
That's great. That's amazing. That's good. All right. So I wish you could share. Well, I'll get to that later. You could see your logo, and then what you do right now. All right, that's great. I'm sure you have a number of clients already. First Garden family, everybody. You're gonna get a number of clients, and they don't have to take their clothes as well. Whenever they want to do anything, they just reach out to you, and then you get it done. All right, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah, that's great. Okay, especially when you can then do some stuff online, you can create a web page for the business, and they can just go there and just at a click they reach you, and all of those things. And that's amazing. Yeah, I love this. I'm loving this interview. Okay, so how did you arrive at the business name?
Okay, so I actually got the business name from when I was learning about sewing too. So Crossway Strips is actually this teaching method in sewing. It's like this, the threads going over each other at the end of the cloth, kind of, just to like close it in. So I chose the name Crossway Strips because first of all, it sounds like really nice, and considering it has to like do with sewing, it just seemed very befitting. But then also because I wanted to show that my company is not just like based on a particular thing, it's very diverse, and like the Crossway shows that we do various things in different ways for different people.
Awesome. Various things in various ways for various people. That's great. I like the idea. That's good. All right. Cool. So which of these extended courses is your favorite? Which ones would you like to pursue in the future?
Well, sewing,
Sewing,
definitely,
really?
definitely so.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Wow. Wow, that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay. Um, so tell us again about the compulsory leadership program at PGH and how it has impacted you.
Okay, so first of all, the compulsory leadership program, we call it TLP. That's Timeless Leadership Principles, and it's like my favorite subject because it's like really motivational and inspiring, and just attending the classes alone has helped me like unlock so much more potential that I never knew I had. And it's like now I'm experiencing this freedom, not because I'm allowed to do anything I want, but there's this inner freedom of knowing you can influence things and conditions around you don't have to influence you. You decide what happens to you. And I don't have to like be what people want me to be. I can be who I want to be and still like have so many unlimited possibilities.
Amazing, amazing, amazing. That's great. At the beginning of this interview, you mentioned that you're 15 years old. I remember I met a guy, I think yesterday, thereabout. Yeah, he's in Scotland. He's an African, and he's also 15 years old. And so I just discovered, I was checking his profile on LinkedIn, and I saw that he already had a company. He had a company that's into building applications, building apps. He has worked with Samsung, with HP, with LG, and building a number of apps and all of that and everything. And I'm just going to say that please don't stop what you're doing. All right, don't stop what you're doing. You are in a place, you're on a stage where you can make it more profound and begin to do something great with that. So please, Dewonu, don't stop what you're doing. It's very important. Very important. Okay. That's cool. I know there was time I watched the video and I saw you talking about the leadership program and how much it has really impacted you. Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm excited. That was a very wonderful experience. So going forward, I learned that you would love to be a global brand ambassador for the leadership program. Why did you make this decision?
Well, I made this decision because until I started the program, I didn't know there are some things that I didn't know were possible with myself that I could do. And I know there's still so many teenagers out there that they don't know how influential they can be. They don't know their capabilities. And I want to be someone who can represent that, go out there, talk to other people, and also like encourage them, inspire them, and bring them to this light that I've come to see.
Awesome. That's great. That's great. So this looks like at this level, you've gathered a lot of momentum, like you're waiting to happen
Yes.
to the world out there. Amazing. I like that. I like that. And when you're talking about your school experience at PGH, you're not talking about math, you're not talking about physics, you're not talking about chemistry. In this interview, we haven't mentioned anything about all of those things: math, physics, chemistry, biology. About we've been talking more about the skills you've gathered. I see the entrepreneurial skill in you. I see that leadership skill in you. I see that independent learning skill. I see a lot of skills in you, and that's amazing. That's great. Passing through PGS has been a great one for you, and I'm excited to see you. All right, so that's great. As we're rounding up the interview in a moment, so as you're graduating, Dewonu, what would you miss about Pierce Garden Eye?
I'm going to miss a lot of things actually,
Wow.
pretty much everything. But Most of all, I'm going to miss the people that I've met here. I've met some really stunning, amazing, terrific, fantastic, awesome, awe-inspiring people, and it's just going to be so sad having to leave them behind because I
Oh
know how much
my.
I've even my juniors and my teachers and my classmates, everyone has become my best friends. So it's going to hurt a lot, but that's what I'm going to miss.
Oh my. Well, that looks emotional now. That's great. That's great. So, Dewonu, it's been a wonderful time with you, and like I
Yeah.
said, I see that you've gathered a lot of momentum, and then you're waiting to you're waiting to happen to the world out there. All right. Going through Pearls Garden Night has really added a lot of value to you, beyond the paperwork and the grade and the exam thing. You've gathered a lot of things that will really help you to thrive as an individual out there in your own endeavors, and that's really amazing. That's really great. That's really great. So once again, they want to congratulations. I wish you all the best, and uh, looking forward to seeing you again very soon. All right. So thank you for your time, Dewonu.
Yeah. You,
Yeah, that'll be all for
thank
now.
you.
Bye. I'll see you soon.
Yeah.
Yeah.